Recording. There we go. Let's start again. Maybe it just went black. Okay, so this is the kind of general guidelines document. It's on the homepage there with the syllabus. You've got on-campus lectures, but that really isn't the be-all and end-all of your credit for this class, right? You have to think about building in reading time, study time, okay? That's difficult if you're taking 18 credits this semester, because 4 hours, that's a lot to try to build in. But do the best that you can, given the constraints that you have going on in your time. Look at the information about what font you should be using for your physical activity log and your fit paper, right? It's boring, Times New Roman, but it is the APA font of choice, although the brand new manual is a little bit more flexible. I just haven't had time to read it thoroughly, but it just came out with a new manual. 12-point font, should have double spacing, should have inch margins all the way around. Okay, you might have come across that in other classes, but we fall under, that's our formatting manual for our area of study. So, boring though it is, I have to encourage you to use that format, okay? Check your email box in Blackboard regularly, at least once a day, okay? If Blackboard crashes, which it does sometimes do, and I need to reach you, I will send you an email through Outlook, but only if I absolutely have to. Okay, lots of questions, either in the discussion board or in class. Okay, there's nothing that you can ask that would not be a good question. Okay, even if you missed the information because you're sitting there going, dozing off, that still means you didn't get the information, which means you need it. So you should ask. Right? And sometimes 2 o'clock in the afternoon is time for snoozing. So bring coffee, bring tea, bring snacks, not McDoo-doos, not Coca-Cola. Right? Real food. Bring it to class if you need to. Don't come to class hungry, because that makes it more difficult to stay awake and to stay focused on what I'm saying. Okay, so class notes has all kinds of stuff in it for you. PowerPoint lectures are in here. Okay. There's some additional reading that we'll do during the semester. There are some interesting links to things as well. All right. Assignments. So under the study help folder, there's a folder called exam info. There's a study ideas, which is just my perspective on things that will hopefully would help you. You can't see these yet, all right? But we'll do review questions in the class before the exam, right? And then I'll put the answers up on Blackboard. Those of you that are in class doing the review will get the answers there, but for the distance students, or if you can't be here for some reason, then you'll have the answers to those. And then there are also the remaining answers for the questions at the back of each chapter for you. All right? So you've got all that information to help you get ready for the exam. Okay? And there'll be a set of these for each exam as we move through the semester. Okay? The pre-chapter quizzes, there they are. All right? So again, you won't be able to see any of those right this minute if you're looking. But this one will open up at the end of class today, and it shuts at 1:30 on Wednesday, because class is at 2. All right? So, 1 or 2 of these, if you miss them, doesn't mean very much to your grade. However, I have had people do poorly in class because they didn't bother doing any of these. Right? And you say, well, it's only 10%. But if you're at 65, that 10% can give you a C instead of a D. Right? So try to stay on top of those. Again, if you're sick, if something happens and you can't get to it for a legitimate reason, let me know. I can open it up again. Okay? But I'm not opening it up because you didn't bother paying attention to the email and the announcement that there was a pre-chapter quiz opening up for you. All right? I think that's fair. But if you have a real reason that you couldn't get to it, right? You have to go home and home doesn't have an internet connection, let me know. Right? I'm not here to thumb you down, I'm here to try and help you learn this material. Okay? Physical activity portfolio is here. The rubrics are not open right now because I really, really need to revise them. So for the distance students, the address is here for you to send your final portfolio in. The midterm you can send electronically if you want to. And we'll go through the portfolio guidelines very briefly, and we'll look at them in more detail as we go along. All right, a couple more minutes. Okay, so 2 reasons for the portfolio. All right, the first one, for me, the most important one, is that a lot of us do a lot of anaerobic type physical activity. So I was a gymnast. Well, gymnastics is great and you're strong and you're flexible, but there's no aerobic component whatsoever, right? So you don't do anything for heart health, okay? Football, not an aerobic sport. Baseball, not an aerobic sport. Basketball, not an aerobic sport. Softball, not an aerobic sport. Soccer's got much more of an aerobic element to it, all right? So a lot of us don't do things to keep our heart healthy, which at this age doesn't matter too much, okay? But as you get older, the types of diseases that we see in an older population are strongly linked to cardiovascular health, not to flexibility, right? So I want to give you an opportunity to examine how do I involve aerobic activity in my daily life, right? It doesn't have to be exercise or sport. So if you click on this link here, it will take you to the DHHS and they will give you a list of things that count as aerobic physical activity, like raking leaves. Don't get to do that much in New Mexico, at least not in this part of New Mexico, but you know, you might live somewhere where you get to rake leaves. Mowing the lawn, Right? So when you buy your own home later on, do you buy one of those little sit-down putt-putt lawnmowers where you do absolutely nothing for an hour while you drive around your garden? Or do you buy an electric mower that you have to actually walk with, right? So that you get some physical activity. That decision makes a big difference to your overall health. Something that silly. Okay? So have a look at this, because you may be thinking, well, I'm too busy. I can't possibly go for a run every day. I'm not asking you to go for a run every day. Right? I'm asking you to think about, how do I incorporate aerobic movement into my lifestyle? Okay? And you're going to log that. So we'll have this week for you to kind of get to terms with the idea. Have a look at the website, come ask me questions, and we'll start logging on Saturday. Okay? There's some information here about what other things you need to be including, but we can talk about those as you get going. For now, you just want to be thinking about what might count as aerobic, right? And can I build that in? Okay? Because the minimum health guidelines say 150 minutes a week of moderate intensity aerobic work. So that's half an hour, 5 days a week. Now, for people who are not relatively healthy, that half an hour can be broken down into 3 10-minute blocks. But nothing less than 10 minutes. Okay? It's not as hard as it seems. You go to Walmart and you park your car on the far side of the car park, and you walk into Walmart and you get your trolley, and instead of wandering around the aisles going, what do I buy today? You walk, right, around the aisles. A, you can get out of the nightmare that is Walmart faster, and B, you got in 20 minutes exercise, right? It's not that hard. We all have to shop. Okay? Due in for midterm, due in for finals. Anytime you want me to look at it, I'm happy to look at it. If you've got questions, if you're not sure how to incorporate classwork into here, ask questions. Right? Anything now? It's going to be fun. It's a load of fun. Okay? Plus, I'm a nutcase, so that always helps. Alright, I do all kinds of silly things. So, alright, let's enjoy. It'll be good. Just you guys have to stay on top of me about this camera because it's going to kill me. Alright, here's hoping.